Legends of Nirn, Part 2. Relic Artifacts, Part 3. The following are notes gathered over the past centuries of items of unimaginable significance. All have been seen, owned, and lost again and again throughout Tamriel. Some may be myth, others may be hoax, but regardless, many have lost their lives attempting to find or protect these very coveted items. Skull Crusher. The Skull Crusher is an amazingly large and powerful weapon. This warhammer was created in fire, magically fueled by the wizard Dorak Gulsal, and was forged by the great weaponsmith Ilbungard Rolamus. The steel is magically hardened, and the weight of the weapon is amazingly light, which makes for more powerful swings and deadly blows. The warhammer was to be put on display for a festival, but thieves got it first. The Skull Crusher still travels Tamriel in search of its creators. The Spear of Bitter Mercy. One of the more mysterious artifacts is the Spear of Bitter Mercy. Little to nothing is known about the spear. There are no recorded histories, but many believe it to be of Daedric origin. Spellbreaker. Superficially a Dwemer tower shield, it's one of the most ancient relics of Tamriel. Aside from its historical importance in the Battle of Rokuron Shalidor, the Spellbreaker protects its wielder almost completely from any spellcaster, either by reflecting magics or silencing any mage about to cast a spell. It is said that Spellbreaker still searches for its original owner and will not remain the property of anyone else for long. For most, possessing Spellbreaker for any length of time is power enough. Staff of Hasadoki. Hasadoki was said to have been a very competitive wizard. He wandered the land in search for a wizard who was greater than he. To the best of all knowledge, he never found a wizard who could meet up to his challenge. It is said he felt so lonely and isolated because so many feared his power that he bonded his life force into his very own staff, where his soul remains to this very day. Magic users all over Tamriel have been searching for this magical staff. Granting its wielder a protection from magicka, it is a sure prize for any magicka user. The Staff of Magnus is one of the elder artifacts of Tamriel. It was a metaphysical battery of sorts for its creator, Magnus. When used, it absorbs an enemy's health and mystical energy. In time, the staff will abandon the mage who wields it before he becomes too powerful and upsets the mystical balance it is sworn to protect. The Umbra Sword was enchanted by the ancient witch Ninera Ware, and its sole purpose was the entrapment of souls. Used in conjunction with a soul gem, the sword allows the wielder the opportunity to imprison an enemy's soul in the gem. Ninera was executed for her evil creation, but not before she was able to hide the sword. The Umbra Sword is very choosy when it comes to owners and therefore remains hidden until a worthy one is found. Vampiric Ring. One of the more deadly and rare artifacts in Tamriel is the Vampiric Ring. It is said that the ring has the power to steal its victim's health and grant it to the wearer. The exact nature and origin of the ring is wholly unknown, but many elders speak of its evil creation in Morrowind long, long ago by a cult of vampire followers. The Vampiric Ring is an extremely rare artifact and is only seen every few hundred cycles of the moons. Warlock's Ring of the Archmage Sirabane is one of the most popular relics of myth and fable. In Tamriel's ancient history, Sirabane saved all of the continent by judicious use of his ring, and ever since it has helped adventurers with less lofty goals. It is best known for its ability to reflect spells cast at its wearer, and to improve his or her speed and restore health. No adventurer can wear the Warlock's Ring for long, for it is said that the ring is Sirabane's alone to command. Relic Artifacts, Part 2. The following are notes gathered over the past centuries on items of unimaginable significance. All have been seen, owned, and lost again and again throughout Tamriel. Some may be myth, others may be hoax, but regardless, many have lost their lives attempting to find or protect these very coveted items. Ice Blade of the Monarch. The Ice Blade of the Monarch is truly one of Tamriel's most prized artifacts. Legend has it that the evil archmage Alamon Selmo enchanted the claymore of a great warrior with the soul of a frost monarch, a stronger form of the more common frost atronach. The warrior, Thungar Asi, was to play a part in the assassination of a great king in a far-off land and become the new leader. The assassination failed, and the Archmage was imprisoned. The Ice Blade freezes all who feel its blade. The blade circulates from owner to owner, never settling in one place for long. Lord's Mail. Sometimes called the Armor of Morhaus, or the Gift of Kinnereth, this is an ancient cuirass of unsurpassable quality. It grants the wearer power to absorb health, resist the effects of spells, and to cure oneself of poison when used. It is said that whenever Kinnereth deigns the wearer unworthy, the Lord's Mail will be taken away and hidden for the next chosen one. The Mace of Malakbal. Also known as the Vampire's Mace, the Mace of Malakbal drains its victims of magicka and gives it to the bearer. It also has the ability to transfer an enemy's strength to its wielder. Malakbal has been quite free with his artifact. There are many legends about the mace. It seems to be a favorite for vanquishing wizards. The Mask of Clavicus Vile. Ever the vain one, Clavicus Vile made a mask suited to his own personality. The bearer of the mask is more likely to get a positive response from the people of Tamriel. The higher his personality, the larger the bonus. The best-known story of the mask tells the tale of Avalee, a noblewoman of some renown. As a young girl, she was grossly disfigured by a spiteful servant. Avalee made a dark deal with Clavicus Vile and received the mask in return. Though the mask did not change her looks, suddenly she had the respect and admiration of everyone. A year and a day after her marriage to a well-connected baron, Clavicus Vile reclaimed the mask. Although pregnant with his child, Avalee was banished from the baron's household. 21 years and 1 day later, Avalee's daughter claimed her vengeance by slaying the baron. Mehrunes Razor. The Dark Brotherhood has coveted this ebony dagger for generations. This mythical artifact is capable of slaying any creature instantly. History does not record any bearers of Mehrunes Razor. However, the Dark Brotherhood was once decimated by a vicious internal power struggle, and it is suspected that the Razor was involved. The Mentor's Ring. This simple metal band is a prized possession for any apprentice to magic. It lends the wearer the ability to increase their intelligence and wisdom, thus making their use of magic more efficient. The High Wizard Kani Asron is said to be the creator of the ring. It was constructed for his young apprentices while studying under his guidance. After Asron's death, the ring and several other possessions vanished and have since circulated through Tamriel. The Ring of Khajiit. The Ring of Khajiit is an ancient relic, hundreds of years older than Rajin, the thief that made the ring famous. It was Rajin who used the ring's powers to make himself invisible and as quick as the breath of wind. Using the ring, he became the most successful burglar in Elsewhere history. Rajin's eventual fate is a mystery, but according to legend, the ring rebelled against such constant use and disappeared, leaving Rajin helpless before his enemies. The Ring of Finasta. The Ring of Finasta was made hundreds of years ago by a man who needed good defenses to survive his adventurous life. Thanks to the ring, Finasta lived for hundreds of years, and since then it has passed from person to person. The ring improves its wearer's overall resistance to poison, magicka, and shock. Still, Finasta was cunning and cursed the ring so that eventually it disappears from its holder's possession and returns to another resting place, discontented to stay anywhere but with Finasta himself. The Ring of Surroundings. Little is known of this prize, but it is said that it lends the wearer the ability to blend in with their surroundings. Ring of the Wind. No facts are known about this ring, but the title and the few rumors lend one to think it grants the wearer added speed. The Ada Bal-A. Editor's note. The Ada Bal-A is traditionally believed to be the memoirs of Morehouse, consort to Alessia the Slave Queen. While this cannot be historically verified, the Ada Bal is certainly among the oldest written accounts to come down to us from the early First Era. Pelinor's death. And in the blood-flawed throne room of the White Gold, the severed head of Pelinor spoke to the winged bull Morehouse, demigod lover of Ash-El, saying, "Our enemies have undone me and spread my body into hiding. In mockery of divine purpose, the Aliads cut me into eighths, for they are obsessed with this number." And Morehouse, confused, snorted through his ring, saying, "Your crusades went beyond her counsel, Whitestrake, but I am a bull, and therefore reckless in my wit. I think I would go and gore our prisoners if you had left any alive. You are blood made glorious, uncle, and will come again as fox animal or light. Sirad is still ours." Then Pelinor spoke again for the last time. "Beware, Morehouse, beware. With the foresight of death, I know now that my foe yet lives, bitter knowledge to take to my grave. Better that I had died, believing myself to be the victor. Although cast beyond the doors of night, he will return. Be vigilant. I can no longer shield the host of men from Umarel's retribution." Alessia's youth during the slave years. Baraf's original tribe is unknown, but she grew up in Sard, a non-Salvador Lee, where the Aliads herded men from across all Niben. Kothri, Need, Algoma, men of Kreeth, though these were later known to be imported from the north. Keptu, men of G, who were eventually destroyed when the Flower King Nilchi made a great sacrifice to an insect god named Lost. Alharad, men of Ket, others. But this was Sirod, the heart of the Imperiate Salice, where men knew no freedom even to keep family or choice of name except in secret, and so their alien masters of all these designations were irrelevant. Men were given over to the lifting of stones and the draining of fields and the upkeep of temple and road, or to become art torturers for strange pleasures, as in the wailing wheels of Vindestel and the Garter Gardens of Sekharan, and the flesh sculpture, which was everywhere among the slaves of the Aliads in those days, or, worse, the realms of the Fire King Hadwal, where the begetting of drugs drawn from an admixture of daedrons into living hosts let one inhale new visions of torment, and children were set aflame for nighttime tiger sport. Morehouse explains Alessia's names. Then Morehouse said to them, "In your tales, you have many names for her. Al-Esh, given to her in awe, that when translated sounds like a redundancy, the high, from which comes the more familiar corruptions. Al-Shut, Esha, Alessia, you knew her as Paravant, given to her when crowned first of its kind, by which the gods meant a mortal, worthy of the majesty, that is killing, questing, healing, which is also Paravel, Pavesh, Parathu, Parif, and in my case, for it is what I called her when we were lovers, Paravania. Though she is gone to me, she remains bathed in stars. First Empress, Lady of Heaven, Queen at Sirod." And they considered themselves full answered and departed. I hope you've been enjoying these lore readings, and if you have, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching.